So what I was gonna do is just starting off, we're gonna do the first few exercises just right on our back. So we're gonna do an ankle mobility. So I'm gonna come down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull my leg up 90 degrees like this, and we're gonna do just 10. I'm gonna push my foot forward, pull my toe back. I'm gonna do 10 of those, just finding my range of motion, trying just to have this ankle complex the only thing moving. So I'm using my hands as support. Just trying to loosen those feet and ankle up. Once I get to 10, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 circles with my big toe. I'm just trying to make a big circle with my toe, big toe, and I'll do 5 one way and then 5 the other. And once I finish that, I'll pull the other arm up. If it hurts your neck, you can always just kind of relax your head down too. Just trying to get as much range as you can. Push that foot forward all the way. Try to pull it all the way back. I'll get 10 of those. And then I'm going to do 5 circles with my big toe, just making a big circle. 5 one way, 5 the other. Good. From there, kind of maintaining the same position, we're going to do a little hamstring stretch. So what I'm going to do is just keep in that same 90-degree position. I'm just going to find my range, but I'm going to try to straighten that leg out and then pull back to 90. And we're going to do 10 of those. I like to really try to pull my toe toward my shin rather than pushing up. So I like to pull back up top. You should feel a good hamstring stretch up top. I almost think about trying to drive my heel, push my heel up to the. But I'll get 10 of those, and then I'm just going to switch and do 10 the other way. Keep that toe pointed toward the shin. I'll get 10 both sides. Chris, what's going on? From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go into my piriformis glute stretch. So I'm just going to cross my leg. And I'm going to come up, and I'm going to grab inside my knee on my right leg, and I'm just going to pull nice and tight. And I'm just trying to take some deep breaths. As I exhale, I'm trying to pull a little bit closer to my body. Get like 4 or 5 breaths. And with each breath, you should feel the legs coming a little bit closer. And then I'll switch. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Grab underneath that left knee and just inhale through the nose, exhale, pull a little bit closer. Okay. From there, what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of do this upper groin frog stretch. So I'm going to come down, flip around like this. I'm going to get my knees out nice and wide as I can. And I'm going to try to get my toes pointed how they are. And I'm going to get my feet outside my knees. And then I'm just going to come down into this plank position. And it's just, this is a real sensitive area, just pretty tight. So I'm just going to sort of use my forearms to push back a little bit, feel that stretch, and then I'm just going to hold. And try to breathe through that stretch. I come out of it nice and slow. So what we're going to do now is as we come up, I'm going to maintain. So I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to try to, again, get that knee as far outside as I can, keep that toe out. And what I'm going to do with this right here, I'm going to step up into this wide position like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can use your hand, I'm going to just sort of try to drive my knee over my toe. And you should feel a good stretch right in that adductor area. It's a pretty intense stretch. And just try to breathe through that stretch. I'll come out of it. And I'm going to come back down. I'm going to get my right knee out as far as I can and try to get that right toe outside my knee. And then I'm going to step up, pivot this foot this way. And then I'm just going to drive my knee forward. Should feel a good stretch right in there. Thinking about trying to push my knee over my toe. Ooh, it's painful. Try to breathe, relax for that stretch. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and we're going to do some of our 90-90 switches. So again, when I think about this, like good 90-degree position, both legs, one leg's in front, the other's behind. I want to try to open up as much as I can first. And then here and switch. And we're just going to open up as much as you can. Nice and slow. Really concentrate on trying to open that back leg up. I got three of those, just nice and slow. From there, I'm gonna use my chair right here. I like to almost get the pillows up so I can't put my toe over. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get my shins as flush as I can or as close as I can to that. And then from there, I'll step up our wall stretch. And I'm gonna get up nice and tall and just get that good stretch. Okay, we'll just hold. Taking some good deep breaths. Should feel a good stretch right down the front part of that leg. Come out of it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Good things about this type of stuff too is you also see like what parts of your body are tighter than others, you know, and I think that's just good stuff to pay attention to. Same thing. I want to try to push my butt back to my heel. Try not to arch the back. Get that good stretch right down the front part of your leg. And then just breathe. Come out of that. And we're going to go to just a hip flexor stretch. So from here, I'm just going to kind of come out. I'm going to get into a deep lunge. So I'm going to really try to get out nice and wide. I almost like to think like you can see the angle on my knee to my hip. My knee is definitely really far behind. I don't want to arch my back, so I'm keeping my ribs down, but I want that. And then from there, I'm going to take that same arm that the leg is back. I'm going to squeeze the glute and try to drive my hip forward. Trying to activate all this front part of your hip right here. I'm actively pushing this hip forward as we're the more you kind of lean to the side, leaning that arm, pushing that arm over, the more intense that stretch will be. We'll switch, do. Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna get into that good position. Squeeze that glute, drive that hip forward. Really reach that arm over the top of the head. Right. From there, I like this is just a good upper back T-spine mobilization. I'm going to use coffee table. You can use like a couch or whatever, but I'm going to get my forearms back of my elbows on the bench right here, right on the end of this coffee table, and I'm going to come out, and then I'm going to try to sink my head underneath. And I'm just dropping my head down. Should feel some stuff in the back of the shoulders. You can play around with where your arms are at too, sometimes putting them a little bit farther on. So you got to play where it's at, but you should be feeling a lot of stuff going on in the shoulders and the upper back area. All right. This chest stretch, we did this yesterday. I really like this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get down into a push-up position like this. I'm going to put my hand, my right arm, out to like 2 o'clock, and I'm going to bring my other arm in like I'm getting ready to do a push-up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of, like I'm doing a push-up, I'm going to step over here and try to look over my shoulder right here. I should feel a lot of stuff into that shoulder chest area. So I'm sort of using this arm right here to sort of push, look over that. And just breathe through that stretch. I'll come out of it, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm just gonna reach out. 2 o'clock. Get my other arm into that push-up position. And as I push with that arm, I'm gonna step over. And I'm just gonna look over my shoulder. Keep looking over that shoulder. Push your body away. And then just breathe. Don't come out of that. So this next one, our T-spine opener. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down. You guys have done this before where we pull the knee up. What I want to do is I want to keep this hand on top of my knee. So I don't want that knee coming up at all. So I'm going to just kind of keep that for, and I'm going to take this arm, I'm going to reach out. And now I want you just to try to reach out a little bit farther. Take a deep breath, reach out a little bit farther. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of go up and around. So I'm keeping my fingers on here, keeping reaching out, keep going. Once I get to my head, I'm going to pivot. And I'm going to find my range. And then I'm just going to hold. Take some deep breaths. I'll come back out of it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Come down, pull that knee up, keep that locked in. I'm going to reach out, just normal reach out, and then I'm going to try to reach out a little farther. Take a deep breath, reach out a little bit farther. And then from there, keeping those fingers on, I'm just going to go around. I'm still actively trying to reach out as far as I can. Once I get to my head, I'm going to turn my hand over. I'm a lot tighter on this side. If your hand comes off the ground, it's okay. But just find your range and then just hold. And I'll come back out of that. And last one. So this will be our 12th one. Just what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish with some floor slides. So for me, I'm going to come down and I want to try to concentrate on keeping my low back. Key here is to not cheat, but you're going to try to keep that low back pushed into the ground. And then from here, I'm going to get my arms like 90 degrees. And I want to try to keep, like you can see my ribs are up. I want to keep those ribs down. And that kind of almost brings my arms up. But I want to just try to keep a neutral wrist. So rather than be like this, I want to kind of stay in that position, keeping that low back down. And then I'm just going to press out into like a Y position. So I want to press out. So I'm not pressing straight out. I mean, obviously, if you're more mobile, you can do that. But I say start out into like a Y. So you're going to come out into a Y, and you're trying to keep that low back pinned. So you're going to inhale, exhale as you go out. And then once you're all the way out, keep that low back down. You should feel a lot of stuff going on in the shoulder area. You're actively trying to push into the ground too. So you're driving your back, your arms into the ground. Take a deep breath. We'll come back. We're going to do, again, inhale through the nose, get that low back into the ground. Exhale out. Drive those arms into the ground, keeping that low back. Actively pull. And then we'll come back in again. We'll get one more of those. Inhale. Exhale as you go out. And then once you're out, keeping that low back down, drive those arms into the you should feel when you pull back, you should feel like you have a little bit more range of motion. Like it doesn't feel as tight, kind of loosens it up as you go. But, right. That's it, daily dozen. So obviously you guys can like, you know, spend more time on certain movements if they're tighter or whatnot, but just a good little flow going through everything. So, all right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Sound good?
Great. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
You too.